Hey, y'all. The Bachelor is coming back. So what are we doing with these episodes now that The Bachelor is coming back?
Well, we're just going to keep releasing them. More content.
Keep releasing them?
Yeah.
All right. So you'll have JP in the middle of the week or whenever you hear them, usually on Fridays. So, guys, if you want to enjoy more exclusive Bachelor content, you know, there's plenty of stuff to cover outside of Katie's upcoming La Ventura. Go to patreon.com/Another Podcast Network. We also have Another Podcast show there. We have video there. We have lots of perks for you guys.
PMZ too, my show.
Oh, PMZ, bum. Obviously, if you're flush, if you're in the fucking black, pay up for the $10 tier, get a little bit of PMZ, guys.
That'll be like a total of 5 shows a week. We're like a radio show. We're in your ear every single day.
It's an unbelievable amount of content. Go over there and by there I mean patreon.com/Another Podcast Network. Until then, enjoy episode 4 of Juan Pablo's La Ventura. He asks her to sing. She's not pleased about this at all, but she does relent. And I don't know. Her voice is absolutely stunning.
I wouldn't call it stunning. It's fine. I mean, anybody can opera sing, in my opinion. You can be
opera
trained.
sing.
I love me, lo.
Well, when you're right, you're right. Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of Another Bachelor Podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Patrick, the producer of the podcast, is over there behind the glass.
Hey, everybody. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm just happy to be here.
Okay.
Well, I want to remind the audience that I don't hate this.
You can say that that's it. It's important to reassure our fans that we don't hate doing the show.
Right.
And I don't think it's getting ahead of yourself to say that you're in a great mood. I'm happy that you are in a good mood. Nick, how are you feeling?
I'm pretty great. I'm really excited about some of the other stuff I'm working on, which is what I'm texting you about, and I don't mean to, and I'm going to set it down in 1 second.
Okay, great.
But I love what we're at, and I don't know. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Great.
No one's dying.
I'm actually kind of in a state of clinical depression. It's very gloomy outside. I'm just not really satisfied with where I'm at in life, and I've just been staying home way too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so
maybe you should sit next to me for 4 or 5 hours while I teach you to edit video.
I think that I would kill myself if I did that.
Hey, Dylan, remind people to leave reviews on iTunes.
What? Who are you?
Oh.
What kind of, you're some kind of fucking Somali pirate trying to take over this fucking vessel? We will do that in due time, sir.
No, do it at the top of the show. It's more effective.
First, we have to get to some PSAs, which, carte blanche, you could tell people to do whatever the fuck you want. Pat, take it away.
I don't have any PSAs. I was just going to tell. Oh, no, I do. I'm sorry. Hey, guys, get in those iTunes reviews and leave reviews, and I'll evaluate them on the next episode. I don't know how we're going to do that, but I'll do it.
That sounds fantastic. I love when Pat reads your guys' reviews, and I'm sure you guys love it.
I love them reading reviews, but should we direct the power of our pod like a different? We got our 1,000 reviews. What's our next plateau? I'm bored by it.
20,000.
Oh, okay.
I'll quit the show.
Yeah. Okay, done.
Yeah. 20,000 by the end of the season or Pat quits. So we will see you guys. No, we don't want to roll out. We want to roll things out that are actually substantial threats. So we'll come up with a number. And if you guys don't fucking
I'll come
to
every single one of your houses and choke you out.
Okay,
personally.
so let's get
You added your address when you signed up for Patreon because you thought we'd mail you stuff.
General fucking thoughts. That's where we speak generally about the show. Pat.
Oh, say that again in case you cut out his, he's going to strangle people.
No, I think it's okay. We can leave it in. Nick, why don't you take your general thoughts first?
I think it's important to be transparent about what they're getting into.
Okay.
My general thoughts... Yeah, I got to skip to my knots because I don't have a ton of general thoughts. I'm going to say 70 knots.
Okay, so Pat, jaw thoughts.
You go first because I thought you were going to play a trick on me.
What are you doing? You fucking Somali. You're throwing a crude ladder onto the wall of my ship right now. You're trying to get up, and I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to let you come aboard and give you a grilled cheese or kick the ladder.
All right, I'll go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. This episode. All right, Dylan, Nick, maybe to you to a certain extent, have been wondering, when does JP take the turn? when does this motherfucker? Because we all know in hindsight that JP was hated. So JP, I'm gonna call it kissing gate, or I don't want to kiss you gate because I have fucking kids gate, but then it doesn't matter gate because I really would like to fuck you later gate.
Sure, and we'll work on that.
That is wonderful. Right. That has never happened before or since, and that's why this episode it's a standout moment in time. 94 knots.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty.
That's a pat record.
I think it's a pat record, right?
It's got to be.
Yeah, I don't think that he liked this episode that much, which is why it's so confusing.
I'm sorry. Revert. 49 knots.
Okay, so Shitface walks into the house. I feel these were the days when the mouse was making him work for it.
A little bit more.
He's a ghost in the modern franchise. But back then, he really had some work to do. Now, he tells the girls there are going to be 2 group dates, 1 one-on-one, and but most importantly, girls, we're going to Seoul, South Korea. Little did they know this was a land ravaged by COVID-19. Or would be. Excuse me. So, God, these girls...
Wasn't, you mean.
These girls had it... ravaged. These girls had it good. I just don't understand it. The more money this show makes, the more Cleveland they get. It makes no sense to me. Claire is on the ground crying happy tears, and then she, at one point, says she doesn't have a kimono, which is, as you guys know, a traditional Japanese robe. Now... I'm not sure if it's racist or if it's just unbelievably stupid. I think it's unbelievable. I'm going to go with unbelievably stupid. And then because you're so stupid, you don't realize how racist it is. I don't even have a kimono. Oh, my God.
There was a lot.
Our Bachelor.
There was a lot in this episode that I do not think would fly in 2020.
Right.
I mean, this Seoul Korean food is disgusting.
Right.
Okay, hello. That's their culture. That's what they eat. For you to make a yucky face on something you haven't eaten before is racist.
Right.
And all of these people need to stop it.
I love that little I love that little girl you do.
I've been reading a lot of Washington Post. They were the ones that had a couple years ago we covered their article. They were like, "Oh, these people are wrong for making yucky faces at the food." I don't know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh. And I'll say it again. I feel like I said it this last week when we were podcasting, but to sit down and to write these articles,
Yeah.
To sit down and to write these articles.
And I will say, I think it took you guys longer to realize what I was saying because you assumed it was nonsense, considering I'm 5 claws deep.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about that.
In fact, I'm pretty lucid, though my
Korea.
We get to Korea.
Hold on, Dildo. Hold on. You're stepping on something.
You just made him go to Korea.
We're going to Korea, but a little detail. I'm a detailed motherfucker.
Right.
This was, this is, again, going back when the producers of this show actually enjoyed, not only spending the money going to all these different countries, but just kind of some fun with art direction. Did you catch their little thing when they all get in the plane? They cut to that Indiana Jones trope where it's a map and then the plane flies.
No.
Oh, sure. Well, you guys all remember that if you watch an Indiana Jones film. Wherever Indiana Jones went, they'd have the map on the floor with the...
Yeah, and wherever he went, trouble would go too.
Well, actually...
Dick Tracy.
My attempt is to crowbar in something where I'm smarter than everybody. Maybe that's a new segment. But
Your knowledge of Indiana Jones?
No. I've traveled about. And get this. A lot of people, maybe the birdies wouldn't know this, but you don't travel west to east when you're going from North America to Asia. You fly over the Arctic.
Well, box checked. I think you're smarter than everybody.
Is that true?
You didn't know
it's a direct flight, yeah.
You fucking idiot.
That's crazy that I don't know that because my best friend from 1st to 4th grade and kind of like muddy 5th and 6th grade.
Did you have a falling out?
Was no, he just he went to public school. We kind of stayed in touch.
That's gross.
He got really super nerdy into like computer games, and we kind of split at that point. Like that's a whole LAN party.
Yeah, I lost a lot of friends because they didn't join the Counter-Strike LAN parties. It's like, well, I'm going to do it. So if you don't want to come, don't come.
I didn't have hard feelings about it. We went different directions. I love Matt Marcoux, but the point is, he was half Korean.
Okay, so
his mom was full Korean, and she was a stern bitch.
Do we want to get to the date card and Nikki's unraveling?
Oh, do you guys want a roll call for the date card?
If you wouldn't mind.
Okay, here we go. Here's who's going on the group date to that horrible Korean music, whatever date that is. Chelsea, Cassandra, Elise, Danielle, Kat, Nikki.
17 knots. So
that was not great.
Nikki's starting to blossom into the multi-pattern bitch that those who know her to be. We'll get into plenty more of her. Group date. Now, it's well-covered territory, but the love of movement in his home country and his addiction to MDMA, JP is once again very excited to dance. They're going to be dancing with a band Pat has played for us a couple of times, actually. 21.
Sure.
Yeah. This is where Nikki really begins to unravel. She says that she kind of wants to throw a fit, but she's going to suck it up and dance, which is great. Horrifying that those two options are on the table, but I'm really glad you went with the latter. Can you imagine? I'm going to throw a fit. Who the fuck are you? Leave.
Well, this is where you started getting a little glimpse of these people. It's been a couple weeks now. They're starting to, the time is starting to wear on them. Their, their lack of getting alone time with JP over there. We're starting to get to know these people. It's finally nice. Their facade of this, I'm ready to go along with everything is starting to go away.
It's like Disneyland. The facade of It's a Small World is beautiful, but behind those plaster walls is a fat guy smoking a cigarette.
Who does not know how to operate that machine?
No, he's just smoking. He's always there.
I noticed...
Throat fart. Speaking of getting to know the girls, we get to know Chelsea and some pretty sad stuff about her. She says that, it was always her childhood dream to be not a pop star, but a backup dancer for a pop star. Now, that's the kind of confidence that Columbus instills in its locals.
Hey, can I talk about this group, 21?
Yeah.
And you mentioned I'm a big fan.
Yeah, you've talked about them many times before.
Obviously, I was devastated when they broke up in 2016. Do you know they've sold 30 million records?
I do know because I know everything about them.
Right, of course.
Thank you for that.
But get this. It's interesting that the head Korean broad in this group 21, perfect English, American accent. And it got me to thinking. This is what happened here. This is a Korean girl from America that realized you had to reverse kind of engineer this thing. And this has happened many times, which is you go, all right, look, the Korean people, they're not that cool. Yeah. I'm American. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to head up a Korean dance pop group here, right? Because I know what's cool. The Korean people obviously don't, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put, as you notice, I know this may sound offensive, when your whole group is based on pretty much what you look like and not so much the singing.
So are you saying that it's a tragedy that this beautiful creativity was outsourced to Korea from these United States?
Well, that's kind of my point. I would have had more attractive girls because a couple of them look like they've been, grabbed by the legs and slammed against the trunk of a tree.
Before you say anything else, Nick, go ahead and crack that fucking can. Jesus Christ.
All right, let me get to my main point here.
Wait, before he does, because your last point, that wasn't your main point, I guess. Thank God. I think actually, you guys know
the appetizer.
I'm a big Occam's razor guy.
Yeah.
I think Koreans are the coolest people on the planet, and that's why they become such phenomenon. And this is just the best talent they have to offer. She learned English because she knows it's good for business.
You know who I think the coolest people on the planet
are? Men who get so famous they fuck other men after being straight for years?
Well, yes, absolutely. But more generally speaking, thin, tall, black men who are very stylish. You can't beat them. They're just walking around in shoes that I can't wear. It's like...
In your vision, can they dunk?
Yeah, not necessary.
They had a guy a couple years ago in Becca's season who got he didn't make it far enough, but he was a Harlem Globetrotter. I was like, that guy's dope.
That guy's really dope.
I won't go so far as to say I would fuck him.
Oh
but I
my
like
God,
that guy.
We have to get to Pat's true point.
Don't forget Nick's fire tweets either.
Oh my God, I didn't.
If I may finish my point.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what happened here. Is this girl got really savvy, this lead singer, this group 21, came from America, blew it up in Korea.
Yeah.
And then I thought, how does that work? Well, when you come from a different country, you're actually cool. There was a comedian in the 90s named Bill Hicks. Total hack in America. Couldn't fucking make his way here.
Do you mean super cherished comedian?
Well, he is now. That's in hindsight. But what he did in the 90s, he went over to England, started talking shit about our country.
Oh, really?
The English loved it. He blew up over there. He was playing arenas. And dare I say the same thing's happening in reverse. Jim Jeffries wasn't doing so well in Australia. Came over to America, big hit. We love accents.
Have you heard his bit about guns? Okay, so Kat is up next. She's in my notes, not up next for anything really.
She's a dancer. Again, I ask what kind. She is kind of the front runner in the competition, and another big reveal. They're going to be performing with one of Pat's favorite bands, 21. Now, Nikki says something unbelievably offensive. She wants to dance if it's an audience of the blind.
Well, she's not good at dancing, tell her.
Yeah, and listen, this is kind of when we've talked about the facade kind of coming apart. Nikki's my spirit animal here. I am Nikki and Nikki is me. I mean, I would outright refuse to do this. I would never get on stage in this mall. We'll get there. I would never do it. Nope. I'm not going to. I mean, would you guys?
No, I wouldn't.
Nick, you would look ridiculous. You would look so stupid up there on stage.
I think if there were that many people there, I would really just tell myself, let go, don't care. Well, inside, being absolutely terrified.
Right.
The only thing that could scare me more is the vicious unforgivingness of the ocean.
Also, the little Nick inside.
Yeah, ironic, you can surf both.
The little Nick inside.
Coincidental.
Would be making the sounds that Big Nick makes when he's on roller coasters. Okay, so they arrive at the performance. Now, while 21 is a really large band, let's not sugarcoat this. This is a mall concert. It's a good amount of people, but we're in the promenade of a shopping center.
I mean, this is ground zero for where boy bands start to build a fan base.
Yes.
This isn't when you're at the epicenter of your career.
Apex.
Who was
Apex, that's right.
the Joe Jackson, but of the boy band scene, the guy that found NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
I don't know his name, but I know, yeah.
Ben. Sorry.
How dare you just throw out Ben?
Like he's not a known person. I agree.
He's
Don't
totally-
downplay. People know who he's talking about.
Oh, you don't know who I'm talking about? They did a 2020 on him.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of his name.
He replicated his formula.
Yes, but he was also very sexually suggestive with some of the young men, and he did a lot of very fraudulent stuff with financing. Anyways,
Hey,
so
young men, separate it if you want to be the biggest superstar in the world.
like only this show can give us, there's a lot of storyline and a lot of narrative going on within this performance.
Luke Pearlman. Only because Lou Pearlman. Only because the baby birdies are screaming at their. I don't know. Well, there's earbuds and they're screaming at earbuds right now.
And I have no doubt in my mind you've referenced him on our podcast, Pat.
All
I'm
right.
pointing at Pat.
Thank
I'm
when
a
I
big
say
fan
that.
of boy
you.
bands.
But yeah, so the main storyline on Stage is that Kate is bathing in the lenses and glares of these Korean mall goers. Now, I don't know. There's nothing really to cover here.
It's fun to watch. It does take a lot of balls to get up there and do this dance routine. I have to say, Cassandra, who's supposedly an NBA dancer and not just...
She's got the kid to prove it. I'm not saying she's a good dancer, but
Dear.
Well, she's pretty stiff.
maybe it's a different type of dance. Wink, wink, Pat. Sorry, she's
Whoa.
pretty stiff. Go ahead.
Whoa.
Stripper, I was saying.
I got it.
Gotcha.
No, I said NBA.
All right, let's get to the night date.
Night date.
Kat, whilst talking to JP about her father drinking his way into delirium.
7 Deweys.
7 DUIs.
I love Dewey for DUI. It's a fun little northerner thing you guys say up there. It's nice.
Another one that's fun is you got the whiskey plates because you'll get the scarlet letter.
Got it.
Or scarlet 3 letters, D, W, and I.
Oh wow, yeah. My relatives call it a DWI back in Virginia.
Is that right?
Yeah, you got a DWI.
Here's my thoughts. 7 DUIs. I want to say they actually, even in the lenient law of criminal system that is Los Angeles, they let you have 3 before they really start throwing the hammer down.
Yeah,
on
and
you.
I think you're assassinated after 5.
Well, 4 you get some jail time.
It's not when Nikki steps up and kind of throws a grenade on Kat's character to the other girls, but I get that she's a rotten apple. I understand that I'll grow to hate her as much as I hate Juan Pablo, but I don't see what's so bad here. They're all laughing at the guacamole thing. Cassandra was the only one who looked like there was an issue. Take that Rodney stick out of your ass. What's his name? Stucky?
Yeah.
Oh. Wasn't that good? Juan Pablo starts picking up on the tension. And, guys, I think he kind of likes it. I think he's kind of feeling like, all right.
Less heat on him.
Yeah. And the girls are starting to fight over me. So it's two birds, one stone. The stone can be compressed into oil to fuel his ego. What? So anyways.
Is he America?
You've only had half a claw.
He's starting down his river towards kind of a loss of morality and tolerance for gay people, I'm assuming. So Nikki and him have a good chat. She says that she's good at changing diapers, and that appeases him. I can't wait to see their love story blossom.
His daughter's 5.
Yeah, no, that's a really, really good point. Unless she's underdeveloped.
I was gonna say devil's advocate,
Right.
kind of like Helen Keller. She'll bite you.
Well, Helen stopped biting after a while, and once again, we should remind the audience that Helen Keller is one of the greatest lies perpetrated by this country. Helen Keller, blind, deaf, mute, and spoke 19 languages. Get the fuck out of here. Didn't exist. You know what happened to her? She fell in a well. That's it. She didn't learn. She fell in a well or something. She got hit by a buggy.
Though over the 2.5 years of this podcast, I have now agreed.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You look into it, people. That's all I'm saying. But
she came from Krypton.
But I will say you corrected, at the end she didn't bite, according to their story, quote unquote. But all good Helen Keller jokes are definitely talking about her right in the beginning.
Okay, so
because you can't hear or see.
So at some point, obviously, JP was okay with the diaper comment that I wasn't, because it didn't make any sense. But he doubles back on Nikki, and he gives Nikki the rose, so she's safe.
Beautiful. She is going to be safe for this week. We'll see how she handles that responsibility, that privilege later on in the episode. So let's get to the one-on-one. Charlene has received the date card, despite Claire's concern that she's not right for Juan Pablo. I hate this one. Claire is probably my least favorite contestant on the show right now.
You know what vibes I get from Claire in this moment? I'm like, she's really reminding me of a hairdresser from Sacramento.
Yeah, something like real.
Just fucking tossing it out there, just desperate. Like, quit touching my hair if your hands smell like cigarettes. Like, get out of here.
Okay, so Charlene.
The only reason I'm at Sports Clips is because you have Stephen A. Smith on the screen, all right? Shut the fuck up.
So Charlene, wrapped in her kimono, prepares for her date while Juan Pablo rubs his saucy little bod down, and explains that Charlene is his favorite.
Look, we already know based on what we're hearing that is seen on camera about Charlene not being into JP, very confused. She's too analytical with this goddamn process. It's kind of annoying. But Chelsea drops a fucking bomb. I think it's while they're on their date at the market or something. She says that privately Charlene's saying that JP bores her. Whoa.
Just more credence to the theory that after she was like, yeah, I guess I'll stick around, after offered the first impression rose,
Mickey,
that she was dragged into a white room.
Yep.
A couple men were standing over her with glasses. They were like, this room is visually and audio recorded. Anything you say do will be held against you.
And there's a pipe that's dripping.
And then Mickey walked in with just like, I don't know, something. What's the most menacing weapon you could walk in with?
I would say a walking stick that you pull the top out and it's actually a blade. That's the answer.
Him just also with a stick, if we could go back to stick.
This is what I'm thinking the whole time after Chelsea drops this fucking dime. Just to the camera, just to the audience, just for us to know that little nugget of information. Although we're all thinking it anyway. In 2020, if you don't think for one goddamn second, if it were 2020, that one of these little ladies, after grabbing that little nugget of information, wouldn't have brought it straight to JP himself to stab that bitch right through her heart with her own sword, you're an idiot.
Okay, so can we get to the date, the actual date, the happenings-ons?
Oh, sure.
They walk through the
Date.
They walk through the mice and the market, and
the men.
Guys, these two just have such a fucking blast. I mean, they really do. Trying new things. That wasn't that good, and then somebody hands her a yogurt, a probiotic drink, as a relief from the gochujang soaked vegetable or whatever she had. She didn't think that. She was like, oh, this was different than I thought. I mean, the whole thing was so fun. There are a lot of dick faces that would, like Nikki, Claire, perhaps even Pat, who would walk through a market like this and be like, do you have a turkey sandwich? But she's up for it.
That was a nice, Dylan.
Okay, let's leave the market and let's head to the tea house at Bukchanahanak. Have you been?
No, but I have been to a lot of places in Koreatown. I love quarters.
Okay. They have a lot of cheese there, I hear.
They do.
Yeah.
They killed it with the cheese. And I kept trying to touch the cheese earlier than it was ready and getting scolded by the workers.
Wow. Well, you got to learn. So I like Charlene a lot. She's rough around the edges and she's weird, but she seems like she's going to raise a super genius. And most importantly, she's not bland.
You've got the British word is like cheeky. You're kind of a little like, got a bit of a smart ass side to you.
If I?
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. But I mean that in a good way. It makes you interesting and not bland.
Not bland.
Bland is like when you taste something that doesn't really have any flavor.
We taste something today that we're not bland.
Everything we tasted today was not bland.
I don't think he knows what's happening here.
Not,
I really don't.
Not bland? Oh, am I?
Your cheeks are black?
Oh, yeah. I think he's doing well for ESL.
I think if these two people, there is a world where these two people would have a great one-night stand.
Yeah.
He's still playing professional soccer.
Right.
They're playing a game in, I don't forget where.
Dusseldorf.
Yeah, and she's out there at some
She's
bar.
singing the national anthem.
That's pretty good. But I think she'd have colleagues with her, so she'd be a little too up in her head.
Or whatever country they're in.
No, they're at some wine bar, and he's there, she's there.
Hey, have you beat off to this before?
No.
Okay, sorry.
What would be the category?
No, I just...
I'm category driven.
It seems like you've got a pretty vivid picture painted. But anyways, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Patrick is a slave to the pornographic algorithm.
So other than this reality show, these people don't have a chance to ever be married and have children or anything. But they do have a chance where they could meet in another world and fuck each other's brains out. And then it'd be a story that she'd tell to her friends while they're out. Well, there
Right.
once was this Latin lover that I met in whatever.
But anything beyond that.
Correcto mundo.
You know, I
sir.
was watching them, sarcastically wrote down that I wish that my wife and I had this kind of free-flowing conversation when we first started off. Would have fallen in love so much sooner. Would have gotten married at 24. Rats. Okay, let's get to the night date.
Night date.
You guys did or didn't have free-flowing conversation right away because you guys seem like kind of made for each other.
Thank you. No, it was she was very abusive to me in the beginning. I'll talk about it later.
Explains quite a bit.
He asks her to sing. She's not pleased about this at all, but she does relent. And I don't know. Her voice is absolutely stunning.
I wouldn't call it stunning. It's fine. I mean, anybody can opera sing, in my opinion. You can be
Opera
trained.
sing.
I lo me lo lo.
Well, when you're right, you're right.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
He did something here that I thought was pretty amazing. Because I don't think JP's an intellectual, okay? I do think he's a puss hound, which
How
means...
come?
All right, hold on. He has her sing. Now, you think this just passed by most viewers. Wasn't that nice? He wanted to hear what she does on her little hobby that she's got going on there.
Rude. It's not a little hobby. It's more of a career.
No, this was an exercise in breaking her down. Now, he's noticing as an animal that she's trying to assert her power over him. He is a very masculine man. One way to do this is to break her down in her own element. He had her, if you see, you haven't seen her more nervous than she was doing those warm-up drills. Because now she's got to impress him. And
Right.
that's exactly where he needs her.
It's almost like he's injecting a little bit of nature's most powerful aphrodisiac into this here courtyard. Nick, what is it?
Fear.
The Songbird's melody really does heat things up. Slapshot score. It's tonsil hockey, guys. Okay. They sit down and they have a chat at dinner. And
Applause break. What do they do at dinner?
So
What do they do at dinner?
they have a chat, and he goes, "You're different," and she goes, What was that?
Microwave?
It sounded. It did.
There isn't a microwave in sight, Patrick.
secret sound though. It sounded like a microwave to me as well.
It's probably the camera losing its battery.
So he goes,
Boom! And that's how the secret sound gets you. We both said
you win a T-shirt. And a bumper sticker. So they sit down, and Juan Pablo goes, "You're different," and then she says, "Not in a weird way, though, right?" And he goes, "No, no weird at all, but kind of." And she goes, and he goes, no, you're not weird. I wish we could have had this free-flowing conversation. Me and my wife. So Juan Pablo says that they have so much in common. Are you dumb?
Oh, Dylan, you didn't know Juan Pablo sings opera.
Well,
in Germany
this is where they kind of talk about Germany and where he comes from and the difficulty they both had in lands they could not call their home. And hey guys, does she win? Because I ship them with all of me. I ship them with all of me.
Well, yeah, she gets the rose if that's what you mean by her.
No,
winning.
I mean win the competition. I mean she's absolutely. They have a genuine conversation. We joke and we josh and we razz and we goof, but they have a really cool conversation.
Well, they do. They have a real conversation, and one of the aspects of that was him always bringing up this fucking daughter of his, and whether it's gonna be compatible with the lady he picks, which I think is a fair question or a fair thing to bring up. But he asks her, and if they are in fact bonding, and you're shipping them, the only thing she has to say,
I am shipping them. You don't have to ask that question. I'm shipping them.
Okay. What he obviously then, if they are fully shipped, then she needs to be into his daughter. And when he talks about the daughter, she launches into this wild tangent about once dating a guy that had a kid or something, blah, blah, blah.
Jesus Christ.
It's just like the Spice Girls said, if you want to be my lover.
What is that?
That's Darth Vader. When you talk too loud, Darth Vader says, you will come to the daughter.
Was that a throat fart? What's up with all these secret sounds? Nick, what was your point?
I just wanted to say it's just like the Spice Girls said, if you want to be my lover, you got to get with my bastard daughter.
I love that song.
But his dad is there, so it makes it not a bastard by definition.
Yeah, but still.
Hey, guys, before we move on from this Charlene JP date or whatever.
Well, I want to keep talking about the children, but anyways.
Oh, well, I'm going to bring up the children.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Remember that segment that I teased a little bit the first episode? The new segment called Whatever Happened to Platitudes about having more kids or a kid on Bachelor Season 18.
Can I say, I was listening to it in the edit, and I was like, I need to write that down and call Pat out on where's this segment gone and have the exact title written down. And then much like my sunscreen business where you just put a quarter in and it goes, psh, I abandoned it within 3 seconds.
Can I say I'm so glad you brought that up, because when I talked about how I was shocked that the woman whose mom supposedly died from melanoma was out there with anything less than SPF 50, yeah. I really wanted to segue into how much I've been thinking about your idea and how much I think it's a legit possibility. You could even get the local government of someplace like Santa Monica to subsidize that because it's improving the health of their citizens.
Yeah, and
it's not you pay $1, you get sprayed with SPF 50. It's just chemicals. Everybody's down with it. You can even, if the government wants to take control of us, you could spray some other shit in there too.
You're so animated. You love the idea, and I've
been thinking about it for weeks.
I hate to bring the whole thing crashing down. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to do that, but I don't want to disappoint you guys. My sister's been home and she heard the podcast, and I just feel kind of crummy. I don't want the audience to judge me. And
she has melanoma?
No, she has a beautiful brain that came up with this idea of having sunscreen pods at the beach. And it wasn't.
I know what you're going to say, Dylan.
It wasn't my idea. It was hers.
That was Ruby's idea all along.
Yeah, it was Ruby's idea. It was when we were talking, it just came out, but I didn't mean to take ownership over it. And then
it's hard to do in the middle of like when you're improving and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
I would have loved to have told that after weeks pining over it.
I know, but
I would like if you could give me Ruby's number. I think we could make this happen.
She doesn't own the business. Dylan, cut me in on this. Keep Nick out.
I am not involved. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm just a...
How does she not own the business?
Okay, so...
You haven't decided what you are.
So can we move on, please, for fucking...
Guys, you didn't let me finish my goddamn segment trying to interrupt me. When I'm going to launch this, the audience wants to know whatever happened with these platitudes about having kids on Bachelor Season 18.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where I get to go back in that time machine. And no, I mean, I move forward in the time machine to the future, which is now, and see... Did these people actually have children? Well, guess what, Charlene? She was 32 during the filming of this season of Juan Pablo. She didn't really say that she was going to have children. She is now 40, living with her Silver Fox boyfriend, I believe, in London. She has yet to have any children.
Wow.
Do you think she froze some eggs? This woman froze some eggs. She was definitely...
To what end, Nick?
Huh? Just because she's pragmatic and she's like, if I regret it. She's obviously, like, Dylan has proposed an autist.
So Juan Pablo lets her know how many children he would like her to carry to term for him. Good.
1 or 2 more, because he said 2 or 3 children.
Right.
And he already has 1 child.
Right. It's a good evade job from her initially, but he does eventually wear her down.
Good evade job. She was like, I don't want children.
No.
He was like, ask further. No.
And she kind of, dips, dive, ducks, dodges into another D. But, I thought that it was funny while the other crows are at the house making fun of how this idiot Charlene in her late 20s is not ready to raise children because she's focused on her career and regretfully has not been knocked up and forced into a shotgun wedding. What an idiot this young girl is. She gets a prize.
It's a rose.
It's a rose.
It's a rose. It's a rose. It's a rose. By any other name, smells nurses.
So next day.
Next day.
You guys want to get crazy in Korea?
Oh, let's go nuts.
With a K.
He's decided that today...
Knuts.
Yeah. Today, he and the girls are just going to have a good time.
That's how he rolls, Dylan. I don't know if you've caught this.
So they arrive at a dollhouse, which has within it a karaoke bar, as well as terrifying ghost children meant to ward off customers. But they brave the terrifying, grudge kids that meow at people, I can assume. And listen, I don't understand how this is supposed to break the ice because it makes me feel so uncomfortable when I watch them. They are crammed in an escape room that looks like it could be flipped to shoot a porno, possibly an execution video of sorts. They are jumping up and down to Korean songs that they do not know.
Yeah, that was my one big beef. It's if you're going to have a Korean bar, okay, and you're going to do these private rooms, have some songs I know. What about Billy Idol, like Rebel Yell, or, I don't know, some U2 songs or something, or Journey?
Yeah.
What would you do by City High?
Or
Right.
A Bad Boy or a Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. They don't know what they're like. I saw the lyrics on the screen. It was like,
Don't keep going though. So they head out into the city. They grab some lemonade, a Korean staple, and they hop into some Goosemobiles. They then head to a spa and do this thing that was a fad at one point in time.
Oh yeah, it was big time.
The red gara. It's a small carp that feed on the dead skin of your feet. Now this was banned.
It's not a carp. It's goldfish.
It's a carp.
What side?
I don't know. I've just seen a lot of stuff that says it's a little tiny carp. Regardless of what it is, the red gara was banned many, many years ago in many, many states. Why? Because the fish can carry a dangerous strain of mycobacterium, which causes boils and scarring on feet.
Color me shocked.
So we've talked about this. I applaud cultures that do this to colonizers, like the shaman that spits green alcohol in your face to cleanse you. You spit grain alcohol in my face. My eyes are burning. It's a prank played on white people whose thirst for Asian complexion of any kind is insatiable. Even to the soul, even on the soles of their feet, they want it this bad. They'll let these grubby little fucking fish come and attack them.
Every time I take advantage of international tourists / immigrants, I'm demonized.
And you did have a knack for that, but we told you.
Oh, there's a myriad of ways.
Myriad ways. So Renee's fucking nasty ass mom feet attract the most bacteria filled fucking carp. Now, Pat,
Good eating.
How is this segment for you? Because you're a foot guy.
I am a foot guy. I didn't like it, actually. I didn't like it. Okay. It's not hot at all.
You need an arch. You need a heel.
Well, no. I feel bad for the fish, you see.
Okay. Yeah, because Renee's fucking nasty ass mom.
Wouldn't you feel jealous of the fish?
Yeah. Pat wishes that he could be himself in each and every one of the fish so he could feel it like 100 times. You know? Okay, so...
I like biting dry skin.
Should we get to the epitome of Claire's fears?
Yeah, let's do that.
That's eating octopus. Now, I really hate people that play up this kind of shit. People that are like afraid of squirrels and they like scream when they run past.
Yeah.
Like, calm down. Just why are you putting on this stupid thing that nobody thinks is cute?
Because it sounds like something a hairdresser from SAC would say.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've eaten so much puss lately that I've actually decided to put a halt on my consumption. They're too smart. We shouldn't be eating them. There is evidence that they could have come from Mars, so look it up. Everything that Claire does and everything about her makes me want to throw up. She's a fucking counterfeit human being. I think that a petition should be signed to revoke her opportunity, because that would be the most on-brand thing for this woman ever.
No, I love it.
To be named the Bachelorette, to have a deadly disease ravage a quarter of the Earth's population, and then rip the Bachelorette away from her. Oh my God, that would be so amazing.
It is a possibility, Dylan.
I really hope it does happen.
I agree. I hope it does happen, and I completely see it, because they have this whole psyop down there in Matt James, or no, Hannah, who's down there grooming Matt James. They're could definitely skip ahead to the first black bachelor ever and not skip a beat.
I'm telling you, Claire is. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, I don't want to
get too pathetic. Like, you have to have. This is the thing. Like, Juan Pablo commands a certain amount of respect. I mean, a modicum barely. He's a failed soccer player who peddles Corbell at fucking rundown clubs in Miami. But you know, when you start to lose respect for people, you start to not want to watch them, and they're not endearing. Like Peter, the longer we went, we were just like, this guy fucking sucks. He's a pussy. And Claire is one of the most pathetic people to ever grace the stage. She got engaged to Benoit and then was broken up with by Benoit.
Hey, Dylan, I wanted to save my real thoughts on Claire makes my skin crawly for her actual season.
Applause break.
This season was taped in 2013. It is now 2020. All she has said is that she wants to find love and have children.
Then do it.
It's been 6 or 7 years. That makes it a you problem. That means it's you. And I don't need to see you on your goddamn journey, how you're going to fucking find it with a bunch of fitness gurus or whatever the fuck they're casting to be her suitors. It ain't going to work out. She's a fake. She's gross. And I'm glad I get to air this out, because I look, I've been waiting for an opportunity. Yeah, it's been building up.
You're frothing right now.
I'm gonna turn it down a notch.
Claire, snap the DVD in half. It'll be a metaphor for you to snap it in half. 25 people have already seen it. That's enough.
Exactly.
I don't care if you're man, woman, whatever. At some point, you can decide, I'm going to shoot for the ground and and end up and settle down with someone lower than you. She is deluding herself into thinking she's gonna find some professional soccer player.
Right.
But when you're too crazy, he's not gonna bear children.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so let's just take our foot off of the back of Claire's head for a second.
I said man or a woman.
No, I know. It mostly came from me. Let's get to the night date.
Night date.
He pulls Renee first. She's the first person to be shot down because of Camila. We'll get to Lauren H. in a little bit, but
little note though here, a little detail of their interaction, because it did pass very quickly, but he does talk to Renee first, one of these single mothers, and she acknowledges that it's getting easier being away from her ankle biter. Mm-hmm.
What's that? What's she referring?
An ankle biter is a child that she's neglected.
Oh, you're talking about Helen Keller again?
No, I'm talking about Renee's son that she left in another country.
Renee's
it's getting
son
easier
is
for
deaf and mute.
Ankle.
I'm confused about
and blind.
Did you say Renee's son can speak 70 languages?
Helen Keller could speak 70 languages.
No, but they put her at like 6, which is just a lie. She found it well. But we really need to get to Lauren H., which is the most cringeworthy moment of the evening, I think. This is the second girl he shoots down because of his dear Camila Valentina. Pat?
What?
I have a daughter.
Oh.
I don't want to see daddy kissing.
Okay.
Don't you with us?
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
That's
That's
the
okay.
reason.
I totally respect them.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the reason.
Good.
Don't feel bad.
No.
Okay?
No, it's good.
Oof. I feel so bad for her because she's so beautiful. She's so nice. she kind of walks like an injured deer.
But is that a metaphor? Or?
No, I just think she looks like like if a deer got clipped going like by let's say my Uncle Hub's Toyota going like 30 miles an hour, but not like just like kind of walks like that.
All right, so I got some thoughts on this. I like you, Dylan. It breaks my heart for this poor Lauren. Yeah. Okay, all she wanted was a little kiss. Do you notice that his only problem, if you're to really vet who he's choosing that's going to offend his beautiful daughter Camilla,
is hair color?
No, good looks.
Stop it. Lauren H is so beautiful
to us, but to him, I don't think he finds her attractive. I'm a big fan of Lauren, quite honestly.
Lauren is way prettier than Clare.
He sees something in Clare. Maybe it's the whore. But
what?
The whore in Clare that he sees.
But I've been searching out this Lauren girl. Let me tell you something. I don't want to say that I've been digging a little too deep, but she's having a good time making a lot of money producing music for people's weddings and then putting videos together. It's nice. She's really churned out a real career after all this.
Okay, well, good. I hope she's happy.
Can I say, Pat, if you put 5 pictures up on your feed and a profile picture, these girls could possibly follow you back instead of blocking you once they see someone without a profile picture has viewed their story.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Claire steps up next, and it turns out she's as revolting to the other girls as she is to us.
Oh my god. 8 octopus.
Oh, sorry. God, I hate her so much.
Okay, I'm gonna be Claire and you be Juan Pablo. We can expect an octopus. Yeah, you can do it. Claire, eat the octopus. No. Try it once. I promise you, no dairy. This is the most I've eaten in 2 weeks. I'm so proud of you, Claire.
Oh man! Aside from the fat shaming joke, which was way out of line.
Fat shaming? You mean the anorexia shaming?
Yeah, that's what I meant. These two characters are hilarious.
Hilarious, so funny, so funny. It was like SCTV.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Pat's brought him up. Adler and Staldorf? Waldorf?
Again, I think it's Adler and Staldorf, but you can think whatever you want.
It's so fun being in like a new environment when you record podcasts, because like right now my ambiance is I can see one of Pat's weird looking dogs out the window.
Oh God.
Rainy tried to take a shit.
Horrifying. Okay, so anyways,
that's the normal looking one.
Tweedledee and fucking Claire sit down, and you know what? As maybe as bully-y as Andy and Kelly were just being, they're not wrong.
Oh my god. 8 octopus.
I was proud of you.
Yeah?
Though you went like...
Do you want to know what happened?
Yes, tell me.
I threw up in my mouth.
Really?
But I swallowed it back down. It's so bad. Is that
It's
awful?
okay. No, it's fine.
I was trying to hide it.
It's okay. It's okay.
But I did it.
You did. You did pretty good.
Can you imagine having to talk to this human being?
Which one? Is it JP or
Great
Claire?
question.
Claire
Great
JP?
question. But obviously Claire for me. I mean, I would if I was Juan Pablo, I would get up and I would say either in front of Claire or not in front of Claire, whichever came first. I don't know. I would say she needs to leave. She needs to leave the show now. I can't see her. I can't be around her. She's got to leave the show.
Dylan, look, some people have called this a comedy podcast, and then others have said that please don't call what we do here as a comedy podcast.
No one said that.
Yeah, well, I say it.
Right. It's an analysis of this podcast, and that's what I'm going to bring right here. The reason JP's keeping around is for 2 reasons, okay? He'd love to see her naked and put his penis in.
Yeah.
Fill her hole. The second is
point 2.
The second is she's doing all the heavy lifting.
Right.
She just blabs like an on button on any kind of computer fucking device. I need to kill some time so I can relax my fucking brain.
Right.
Press Claire.
Yes.
She's talking about, I ate octopus today.
Claire is my golf vlog.
What is that?
Well, you just throw up a golf vlog on YouTube, and then you don't have to think about your inadequacies.
Another reason I go to Sport Clips. They just talk and talk and talk. It's like, I didn't press your button.
I think you're 100% right, though, Pat. I think he can sit back and kind of just stare at her tits.
He had more about it.
Did you have more? Okay. So can we get to cockies?
Whoa, Dylan. I feel like I'm talking too much to this show, but I know the fans love when I talk.
No. That's fine.
Okay. Play the clip. Next up, Claire wants a kissy with JP. And let's see what JP has to say about this.
I know I said I wasn't gonna kiss anybody, but she is sexy. She's hot. Her teeth, her lips. I'm helpless. Yeah, I don't even know what to do.
That's Camilla. She's crying.
I think you're right. He's destroying his family. Oh my God. Okay, so let's move on to the cockies. Well, Andy gets the rose.
You got your wish.
Nikki, Andy, and Charlene have roses. There's been an agreement that the three of them are going to lay off a little bit and let the girls who are kind of treading water try and claw their way back into this contest. One of which is surprisingly Clare. So we
she crawled her way back into the contest.
Boom, surname. So all the while, that fucking rat Nikki gets up to in that awful garment she's wearing and breaks the agreement. She breaks the agreement. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I'm firmly in the fuck the haters camp. I mean, this is a competition. I'm not.
Right.
We didn't sign paperwork. I want to go see him. I'm not going to do the thing where I have a good week with him and then I completely, fall back in the pack. Before I know it, Chelsea's talking to him about fucking spaghetti and chili, and he doesn't even remember who the fuck I am.
I can't agree enough, except for the fact that if I think you were using like a metaphor, but if I actually signed paperwork, I would adhere to the terms of it, because otherwise I leave myself open for litigation.
Yeah.
But if I don't, fuck that bitch.
So Mickey sits down, takes a seat, and that was redundant. And like the
it sounds nice.
It's very redundant. Like Haley Joel in The Sixth Sense, she starts talking about.
I thought you were going to say she sees dead people.
No,
obvious.
She says that she feels like he can see her secrets. What have you done?
JP is going to be talking to the producers about his interaction with Nikki, and he's like, I don't know, I just had this vision that she like killed 3 people and hid them in a river. So
Juan Pablo clumsily plants a bomb and then walks away. Evidently, there's been trouble at the house. He asks Nikki about it. Nikki ain't no fucking bitch. She decides to confront Claire straight to her face. Though not straight to her face. Kelly is
kind of the mediator through all this.
Well, an unwilling mediator. Really struggled with the English language there.
And
it's like a juror.
And to be fair to JP, I think he was feeling an air, and not like Peter in last season where he would go, what did you just tell me? Well, let's pull you both in the room so you can talk shit what you just told me in front of the other girl. JP basically just says like, I'm feeling a little weirdness, because I don't think we captured on film any of the girls actually saying this about Claire or Nikki. It was very odd the way that he said that. It seemed like it came out of nowhere for me. And then Nikki to take it. By the way, Nikki kind of coming off like a little bitchy. She said to JP, why are we even talking about this?
Right.
When he had confronted her about some drama in the house. I thought that was a little too much. Like, slow your roll there, sweetie.
Yeah.
Can't wait for next roll call.
So to put us where we are right here, we have Claire and Nikki sitting down, and then we have Ugly Kelly, the dog owner, in between, and I guess they're going to hash it out.
I think people may have some issues with the moniker, but I mean, you painted the picture pretty perfectly. Listen, I know it's our responsibility, our duty, our job to break this stuff down, but I couldn't give 2 fucks about what these two say to one another, and I'd like to get to the rose ceremony immediately.
Oh, you want a roll call?
Go to the roll call now.
Roll call. Here we go. Renee. It's still too old, and she's getting my last nerve befriending everybody. I would only respect it if it was a tool or a device used to get herself ahead, but it's just sad.
Long
Chelsea, go back to Iowa or eat some potatoes or something. Kelly, droopy dog girl, you're only attractive from the eyelids down. Danielle, I expounded on you much earlier to a great degree and annoyed my fellow creators. Cassandra, nothing to say. Allie, sometimes called Allison. Claire.
Yeah. You say
Cat. That's it.
So that will see who head to the guillotine.
Yes. This was very sad.
Who?
Well, Boren Lauren, who I'd love to have sex with. Check her out on the IGs, her little TikTok videos of her dancing. Well, I assume all her eggs are dried up because she's going to be pushing 42.
Hey, Pat, what's your TikTok?
Another long first one.
And Elise went home. Elise. But we see her in Bachelor in Paradise, so it doesn't end for her yet.
All right, that's the end of the episode. We will be back next week to break down week 5 of Juan Pablo's season. L'Aventura. Join us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/anotherpodcastnetwork. Join us on the social medias. Facebook is where you'll find the community, the community of baby birds. Go to the nest, flock around, say hi to everybody. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. Also, jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. We have not come up with a firm number, but we've talked about it. If we do not hit it, Patrick will be quitting the show.
2,000.
20K.
Oh, 20?
It can't. We got to level up. It can't be 2,000. We got to level up.
Yeah, it's got to be 20,000. Okay, leave 5 stars and help us reach our goal. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We will be back next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.